October 18th, 10 a.m., District Court, Courtroom number 4. Court is now in session for the trial of Mr. Will Powers. The prosecution is ready, Your Honor. The defense is ready, Your Honor. Very well, Mr. Edgeworth. Your opening statement, please. The prosecution will show that the court that at 2:30 p.m. on October 15th, the defendant, Mr. Will Powers, killed fellow actor Jack Hammer in Studio 1 of Global Studios. It is impossible for anyone else to have committed this heinous crime. The evidence presented during the trial will all point to this fact. I see. Very well, I would like to move on to some testimony. Mr. Edgeworth, the prosecution may call its first witness. Very well, I call a most familiar face, Detective Gumshoe, to the stand. Detective, if you would briefly describe the case to the court. Yes, sir. I'll explain with the guide map here. To understand in this case, it's important to grasp the layout of the studio. See? This here is the employee area. The actors didn't run through the action scenes during the morning here. This is the main gate to the studios. The security lady that works at the studios was here at 1 p.m. on that day. Past the security station, there's a gate, see? Past that of the studios. And here it is, Studio 1. This is the scene of the murder where the body was found. Now on the day of the murder, October 15th, there were only 3 people here. Defendant Jack Hammer, the defendant Will Powers, and a young woman, the production assistant. The production staff were in the employee area until noon. Then after lunch, the victim Jack Hammer went to Studio 1. Right after that, at 1 p.m., the security lady got to the guard station. Sorry. Not sure why I'm having trouble speaking today. Now jump ahead later to that day, 5 p.m. Production staff came to Studio 1 to perform a rehearsal. Needless to say, the rehearsal was cancelled. The time of death was 2:30. The semi-spear found lodged in the victim's chest was the murder weapon. That's the case in brief. Anyone like to hear that again? Should I listen to that whole thing again? Nah, I got it. I think I can probably remember that. So, the murder weapon was a spear? How medieval. Your Honor, this case is quite simple if you ask one question. And that question is, what did the security lady at the guard station see? Understood. Let's call the security officer to the stand. Will the witness declare her name? My, aren't you a handsome fellow? I'm afraid I'm a bit flustered. Your name, please. Oh dearie, no need for you to be embarrassed. Just call me Grandma. Your name, please! Jeez, Ashworth has been trouble getting his witnesses to say their names. Wendy Oldback, dearie. So just call me Grandma, it's practically my nickname, so you will. And here we go again. If you can read this, I applaud you.
Objection!
Oh, objection! I object to the witness's talkativeness. Objection's a stake. The witness will refrain from rambling on the stand. I was just getting to the good part, dearie. Perhaps we can get to the testimony? Now, the witness was stationed at the main gate on the day of the murder, correct? Yes, see, I was. And to get to the scene of the murder, someone would have to pass by you? You know your stuff, dearie. You may begin your testimony. She sure is one hell of an old bag.
On the day of the murder, I arrived at the guard station at 1 p.m. Poor old Hammer and the rest had been doing a run through there since the morning. I had some errands to run that morning. Anyway, it was 1 when I got to the guard station. I was at the main gate from then till 5. Now the murder happened at 2:30, right? Interested to me because a certain man walked right by me at 2. It was Powers, that man right there, and he was heading toward the studio.
You saw the defendant then? Very well. Let's begin the cross-examination. Mr. Wright.
Yes, Your Honor.
I don't think the errands are relevant. Let's talk more about the run.
Hold it!
Oh, run through?
They were working out a scene between the Steel Samurai and the evil magistrate. They got the basics figured out by noon and were to use the afternoon for practice. Rehearsal was supposed to start at 5. That's why poor old Hammer went to Studio 1 in the afternoon.
Mr. Powers was in his dressing room sleeping.
He was supposed to be practicing. Well, laid-back hero.
If there was a run-through in the morning, why did you only get there after noon? Why don't you got to the guard station? Until 5.
Hold it!
So you're watching there the whole time? No breaks? Not even a second?
Of course! I am a professional, you know! Or you criticizing how I do my job with a snapper!
No, it's just I've seen you eating those donuts at the guard station yesterday.
I can watch the gate and eat donuts at the same time! Snipper Wapper! Snipper Wapper? Winback is losing it, man.
Why don't you raise an objection? So the witness was on duty through the afternoon. The whole time. Very well. What did you see? Let me check the... Let me go back over this real quick, because it's been like a week since I actually played. At 2:30, pierced by a spear. Guide map. Car key. Oh yeah, this is the questionable thing, and we just got that.
Hold it!
How did you know that? Okay, yeah. Basically, that's I accidentally pressed it. Let's.
Hold it!
So you saw Mr. Powers?
That's what I said! Got what's in your ears, Sonny! This is your chance!
You have to pull out the secret weapon.
I'll say it again, it was him!
So I present this?
Objection!
Let me get this straight, old bag. Miss Old Bag. You've been saying since yesterday that you saw Mr. Powers, correct? But you're talking about the man in this photo, aren't you? Just a moment, Mr. Wright. Let me see that photo. What is this exactly? It is none other than the Steel Samurai, defender of Neo Old Tokyo. Miss Oldbag, is this the Mr. Powers that you saw?
Of course! Didn't your mama teach you any sense, boy? Anyone can plainly see that's Powers, right?
No, they can't! Well, I mean, I wonder... True, Mr. Powers does play the role of that Steel Samurai. But that doesn't mean Mr. Powers is the Steel Samurai.
I know that! I was born yesterday!
No one in this court is accusing you of that, Miss, witness. Instead of calling her old bag. However, you do not have proof that the person in this photo is Mr. Powers, do you?
Nosy old man. Of course I have proof.
What? Huh?
Even Edgeworth is surprised.
The prosecution would like to ask the witness. Please make all the information. Please make known all the information in your possession ahead of time.
How is this to know who everyone would be so nosy? You should be ashamed, all of you! Anyway, I showed you that photo. Anyway, I showed that photo to the detective. He told me this isn't any good as evidence, pal. He didn't even give it a second look.
Wow, old Windbags left even Edward speechless. She's good. Let's hear about your proof then.
I never say anything I don't mean, mind you. That morning, during the run through the action scene, I saw Howard trip and fall. He broke one of the props. It was a big mess. Apparently, he sprained his ankle pretty bad. Now look at that picture. You can see he's dragging his legs. See? Clear as day. That's how I knew it was Powers. Happy?
So he has a sprain. Oh, I just noticed something. Might have been for the increased video size, but let's see if I can pull that photo up. If you look at the picture, you can see that doesn't. That's not exactly fitting the costume. Anyway, so he had a sprained ankle. Very well, Mr. Wright. You may cross-examine the witness. She's gotta be hiding something. I'll press her until she squeals. I have a problem with this because trip and fall.
Yes, and to think he's supposed to be the Steel Samurai. What a laugh. So, Howard sprained his ankle. I helped make it better for him, of course.
You helped make it better?
I kissed it where it hurt.
Let's just go that one, shall we? Where was the assistant then?
Oh, her? She was cleaning up backdrops, I think. She didn't know about Powers' ankle.
You may continue your testimony.
Hold it!
He broke prop?
Sure did. His own samurai spear.
Samurai spear. The murder weapon?
Luckily, I was there with my duct tape to fix it.
This strikes me as a significant detail. Better write this down in the court record. Oh, whoa. I thought it would loop. I think we've heard enough, haven't we, Your Honor? Well, there's one thing that bothers me, which is, where's this Steel Samurai costume now? Actually, well, we couldn't find it. We're looking though. Anyway, that's not important. The witness did see the Steel Samurai, yes. And it is clear that the person in the Steel Samurai suit was Mr. Will Powers. I suppose that's right. Are you sure, Your Honor? Object. Hold it right there. We keep talking about possibilities. We have to agree that this photo shows the Steel Samurai. Nowhere in this photo can we see Mr. Will Powers. The defense has a point. Also, I wonder if someone else not put on camera could have killed Mr. Hammer. We have to consider that possibility also. Then allow me to remove that thought from your mind, Your Honor. Will the witness continue her testimony, please?
No need to ask twice. The time of death, poor Hammer's death was 2:30 p.m. True. The only person I saw in the studio before then was Will Powers. No one else went there. If they had been, then I would have seen them.
So, if no one else went to the studio, then it would have had to be this Steel Samurai who did it. Mr. Wright, you may cross-examine the witness. Okay, I'm just gonna go straight to the photo here, I think. No, that's just... okay.
Hold it!
Are you absolutely sure?
Oh, quite, Sonny. Nobody suspicious looking passed by all day.
Nobody suspicious looking. Right.
Hold it!
What about before you got to the guard station?
You mean before 1? Why, everyone was in the employee area before then. And I locked the main gate so no one could get in. Not to mention...
Hold it!
Are you sure?
Objection!
The witness has answered the question. Everyone going into the studio will have to pass by the witness.
That's right, Sonny. You let him have an edgy boy.
An itchy boy?
Oh, when Max sure has balls. Or, well, you know what I mean.
Oh, when that's how... wait, skipping over important details after all. Or for that matter, entirely forgetting them.
How convenient.
Something for you to look forward to, perhaps? Oh. I guess I'll just press on everything. How do you know that?
Didn't I just explain? I gave donuts to the undetected, and then after some result, well, it being a secret pal, he told me everything.
See, Detective Gumshoe's here's this fellow officer's fondness for donuts.
Hold it!
Sure. No suspicious looking. No one else.
Hold it! I guess I'll present the photo and try it. Objection!
Hold on. Look at this photograph one more time. This photo was taken by the camera at the gate. Was taken by the camera at the gate for the studios, correct?
Yes, sir, Sonny.
So whenever anyone passes by here, it automatically takes a picture?
And here I thought you didn't know your head from a hole in the ground.
Right. Anyway, it's also true that that the computer in the guard station records all security cam data.
Oh, you know, if you wanted to work at the studio, we might have an opening.
That very computer printed out this photo. Note that on the back of the photo are printed the words, October 15th, 2 p.m., photo number 2.
Even I know that means it was taken at 2 p.m. on October 15th. Really, Sonny?
Actually, I knew that too. The issue here is the bit at the end where it says photo number 2.
Photo number 2?
The computer only held data for one photo on that day. Don't you think that's odd? Shouldn't this be photo number 1 if it really was the only photo? Order! Order! Please tell the court what you mean by this, Mr. Wright. Actually, that's what I want to ask the witness. This evidence shows that not 1 but 2 people went to the studio that day. Yet there's only data for one of the photos. Who could erase the data for the other photo? Only someone with access. The security lady herself.
You watch your mouths, whippersnapper! The only person that I saw that day was Will Powers.
But the camera on the gate fired twice. That means 2 people went by.
Well, yes, that's what it would seem to me.
I don't explain this to the court.
I don't understand these newfangled computer thingies. Edgy boy, help!
Huh? Believe me, I want to, but I don't know what this means either.
Some help you are. You're a snapper too. Whippersnapper?
Oh, that's a Miss Oldbag.
Ah, that's right! I just remembered something.
Let me guess. Someone else passed by the gate. Someone other than the Steel Samurai.
Well, yes, I suppose you could put it that way.
I see. Your testimony, please.
Every day after I finish my guard duties, I have one other important job to do. I go through the photos, record on the security computer, and check them. I throw out any photos that aren't suspicious looking, you see. Come to think of it, now I remember throwing out one photo that day.
Miss Saltberg! This is the first I've heard of this!
Well, of course, Sonny. I've only just remembered it.
Right. Anyway, Mr. Wright, your cross-examination, please.
Well, I'd say this was a turn for the unexpected, but I kind of expected this.
Let's just press her about what the photo was. Well, who the heck was in that photo you erased?
A fanboy.
Fanboy?
Steel Samurai fanboys. Real freaks, if you ask me. They get information about rehearsals from gosh knows where. No one was hanging about. One was there that day.
Objection!
Wait a second! Didn't you just say no one else could get in? I locked the main gate so no one could get in. Those were your words.
Well, if you must know, there's a drain that goes into the employee area. The grate has been loose for a while. Indeed, that's where they come in.
They come in through the drain?
I told you they were freaks. Oh, and they're kids, children, whippersnappers.
Kids! So, on the photo that you erased,
it was a boy, probably 2nd or 3rd grade.
What? Order! Let me get this straight. You saw two people pass by the gate on their way to the studios that day. One was the Steel Samurai dragging his leg, and the other was a boy who looked to be in about 2nd or 3rd grade.
Yes, well, we see his type there every day. Can't stop him, can't catch him.
A boy in 2nd or 3rd grade? I assume it would be hard, if not impossible, for a young boy to wield the samurai spear. Impossible, I think. It's quite heavy.
Right, as I said it, and I didn't pay him much mind. That's why I erased the data. Nick, what's going on? I mean, the boy was there, that makes him a suspect.
Yeah, they're already trying to unsuspect him. This court will take a 5-minute recess. I want the defense and prosecution to consider this new information. And no for getting vital information this time. October 18th, 11:08 a.m. District Court, Defendant Lobby number 3. Mr. Powers?
Yes?
Tell me straight, were you really in your dressing room? You didn't go to the studio?
I didn't go to the studio. I was sleeping, honest. So who was this Steel Samurai in that photo?
How should I know? The Steel Samurai costume was off in the corner of the dressing room. Anyone could have walked in and taken it, really.
What? You should take better care of that stuff.
I couldn't imagine anyone would want to steal a Steel Samurai costume. So, where does this leave me? Doesn't look good. You're the only likely suspect right now.
Well, what are we going to do?
First, we have to play for more time. We'll start targeting someone else that could conceivably have done this.
Right! It'll take us a long to shoot us down, but we can get another day.
Right, if we pick the wrong person, we might lose on the spot. You don't sound very optimistic. I'm not optimistic at all, actually.
Hey Nick, it's time.
Okay, let's go. What does that mean? Please don't sigh like that! Court will now reconvene for the trial of Mr. Will Powers. Mr. Edgeworth, will you present the prosecution's thoughts on the matter? The prosecution's thoughts are simple. Nothing has changed. The other person who went to the studio was a boy of roughly 10 years of age. The photo we do have may not be hard evidence, but there is still no one else that could have committed this crime. I call for a verdict of guilty from the defendant, Mr. Will Powers. Very well, Mr. Wright, your thoughts? The defense disagrees with the prosecution's claim. There is another person who could have committed this crime. Order. Interesting. Let's hear who you have in mind. However, be aware that this court does not look kindly on accusing the innocent. If you accuse someone who is obviously innocent, you will be penalized. Right, great. The stakes weren't high enough. So who was this person other than Mr. Powers who could have committed the murder? Is this what didn't know about the injury? So she wouldn't have been dragging the leg. The grade school boy, no, we're gonna go for the security lady. It was the security lady, Wendy Oldbag. Woohoo! The Steel Samurai is dragging his leg in this picture. That means whoever was in the suit knew about that morning's injury. Maybe because they had been watching the action scene run through. There was only one person other than Powers and Hammer who knew about the injury. The security lady, Oldbag. What? Whippersnapper! Order! Order! Is this true, Oldbag? Oldbag! Let's Miss Oldbag to you! Miss Oldbag was standing guard alone at the main gate. She was by herself. In other words, she has no alibi. She could have briefly left the post to steal the Steel Samurai costume. Then slipped into Studio 1, the scene of the murder. Why would you go through the trouble of wearing the Steel Samurai costume? Simple, Your Honor. She knew the camera at the gate would take her picture. If she was in his costume, she could point the finger at Mr. Powers. I see. Excellent deductive reasoning, Mr. Wright. Oh yeah, right here. Sherlock Holmes, the second, maybe. That's odd. Isn't this the part where Edward pounces? Doesn't he usually jump up with an objection and some new damning evidence? Well, Mr. Edgeworth, does the prosecution have an opinion on this matter? The prosecution has no meaningful objections at this time. What? What's that supposed to mean? Oh, so you all think I did it, is that it? Anymore? Just do something! It's my move. Now's my chance to this the whole way. The very same reasoning that makes Mr. Powers a suspect in this case can be used to cast doubt on Miss Oldbag's actions on that day. What? Why would I do something so horrible to poor Hammer? You forget that Mr. Powers likes a clear motive too. Indeed. That did it. Now one bag is one of the suspects. No more feelings, I hope. Wait just a minute! What about the other person who to the studio? The boy whose photo I erased! He's only a grade schooler though, as you said. Second or third grade, was it? That doesn't matter! When I was that age, I could pin my old man in 10 seconds tops! Your thoughts, Mr. Wright? The boy is not the killer. What? How can you be so sure? Oh, is it be nice for the kids and me to your Elder's Day? Whippersnapper! I have proof. Proof? Indeed. Let's see this proof, Mr. Wright. You have proof that shows the boy could not have committed this murder? A samurai spear, right?
Take that!
Your Honor, the murder weapon was the samurai spear. That very spear is shown here in this photo. How could the boy have taken the spear? It's impossible. I see. Well, would the witness care to comment on this? The windbag is speechless. This has got to be a first. Very well. This court will suspend proceedings on the current trial for today. Mr. Edgeworth, please find out more about your witness, Miss Wendy... What was her name? Something Oldbag, Your Honor. Then the prosecution will look further into this Oldbag before we continue. That is all. This court is adjourned. Wait a second!
just going to sit here and let you run up barking at the wrong tree. Me? I'm talking. Oh great, stop the presses. The windbag wants to talk.
Miss Oldbag, what is all this about? You're missing something from your testimony?
Actually, if you must know, there's something I was told not to talk about. Not to talk about?
By whom?
It wasn't Edward who told her not to talk?
Well, testify!
Global Studios wanted me to keep quiet about something. There were some other people at the studio who was on the day of the murder. They said they had nothing to do with it, see? So they told me to just pretend they hadn't been at the studios that day. But if you're going to go accusing me, but I'm not letting them get away scot-free.
Miss Oldbag, this is crucial information. Why don't you keep this from the court until now?
Ain't you been listening? They told me to shut my trap and I always do what I'm told. Big boy.
No, this isn't a bad dream, Your Honor. Witness the power of the old bag. Mr. Wright, your cross-examination.
Hold it!
Who are these people?
Well, the director and producer, for starters.
The director?
We should have known something was fishy. How could they have done it or at their action scene without a director? Of course! Yes, well, I was surprised no one asked about it.
So where were these people?
The director was in the employee area all morning for the run-through. He went to the producer around lunchtime. They had a meeting after that.
Where?
Oh, in the Studio 2 trade there.
Studio 2? There was a Studio 2?
Well, if you look at the guide map, here it is. You go through the gate and all the way to the left.
That's where the monkey's head was falling off. Mr. Wright, would you like to continue the cross-examination? Oh, yes, all my questions, but that was it? I'm gonna continue. Miss Oldbag, this is a trial for murder.
I know that's silly. Still, they were pretty convincing. They got about having nothing to do with it. And they gave me a little bonus on the side.
So you got your bonus and you still don't. Continue. One moment, please.
Okay, sorry about that. I was very rudely interrupted.
Hold it!
That's no problem, Oldbag. That's no problem, Oldbag. I already pressed this. And, we all get interrupted every now and again. I think we're just going to take a break. I don't think there's anything further to gain. Your Honor, we have learned that there were others at Global Studios on the day in question. The director and producer and some bigwigs were all present. Yet, as we stand here, they have not been questioned. I hold that it is impossible to declare a verdict on the defendant, Mr. Powers. The court acknowledges the defense's point. The prosecution will gather more information about the witness, Miss Oldbag, and more information about these other people that we have just been told of. I understand, Your Honor! This ends the day's proceedings in the trial of Mr. Will Powers. That is all. Court adjourned. October 18th, 1:04 p.m. District Court, Defendant Lobby Number 3. Thank you so much, Mr. Wright. I was right to ask you to defend me.
Aw, it's Aw, really, it's nothing. Oh, or should I?
We'll be going down to the studios to do some more investigating. We have to find out more about this director and producer. They'll be turning up this trial as witnesses for certain. Now's my chance to get material for the cross-examination.
So, Nick, we figured out just who it was in that steel samurai costume? Could it really have been old Windbag?
What do you think, Mr. Powers? I don't think it was her, really.
You've been lying, Nick.
Yeah, I know. Look, I was just buying time back there. Someone had to be the bad guy for me to take the pressure off Mr. Powers.
Poor old Windbag. I feel kind of sorry for her.
Well, she wasn't winning any points there, with or without my accusation. Okay, let's get down to the studios.
Right, we'll be back to visit you soon.
Thanks. Thanks, guys. To be continued. Once again, sorry about that jump cut right at the end there. Long story short, dog pushed it. My door is... The door that I... To the room that I recorded is, like, it's broke. Well, I guess the frame is broken, I should say. Basically, you can shut the door, but it could just be pushed open, and I have a dog that has a very annoying habit of just pushing the door open if he wants to come check out what I'm doing. Like I said, it's rather annoying, and unfortunately there's no way for me to circumvent it other than to just make the dog leave the room and shut the door again. But, anyway, we'll continue this next time.